Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you game 3 in a series between Happy and Roof. We'll see what goes down here as the game does get underway. Roof spawning as the purple Zerg, meanwhile Happy spawning as the yellow Terran. Terran versus Zerg here on Antigua Shipyard. Game 3 in this best of 3 series, and we'll see how these players play. Now this is the GSL version of the map. That means that these minerals are not gold, and I'm not quite sure if the GSL version forces cross spawns, but I do know for a fact that this is going to be cross spawns on Antigua Shipyard. Whether or not they know where their opponent is off the bat is something that I'm not 100% sure of. I know the MLG version does force it, so we'll see how these players scout and whether or not it tips any particular player's strategies and reveals anything new. Now, we'll see whether or not Happy does go for that 11 barracks as opposed to that 12. No, going for a faster refinery this time. And with a faster refinery, it will be a delayed barracks. But because of the map, its size, perhaps trying to get Hellions a little bit more quickly may be better for Happy. The problem will be this ramp over here. Hellions hate driving up ramps. When they drive up a ramp, they don't know what's going on right behind it. There could be a spine crawler. There could be a trap lying in wait for them, as we now see Happy getting up that barracks. SCVs continuing to be trained here as the barracks is now ready and underway. It looks as though we should be able to get us perhaps a factory and a reactor off at the same time, or somewhat close together, as we are about 30 seconds away, and he should be able to harvest about another 50 to 65 gas, meaning that he would be at the 130 range at that time. SCVs are going to wander around still, heading in the counterclockwise direction, and we'll find out that his opponent has not spawned off over here and apparently deciding to go up that ramp at all, and now perhaps assuming that it is going to be full cross spawns. Factory already being placed down, waiting on that reactor. There it is. Reactor now placed down, as well as there are no more SCVs on the refinery, and now upgrading to an orbital command. So hurting his economy a little bit in order to get these reactor Hellions out. He's doing a trick that a lot of Zerg players do, stopping the collection of gas in order to get more minerals and catch back up. It looks as though this hatchery will be completed. And what is this drone doing off over here? Not quite sure. Perhaps just simply trying to hide, make sure that there are no bunkers being placed down. As now this SCV just going to wander around. It looks like Roof giving a little bit too much credit to this SCV. The SCV not going to be building a bunker, but Roof is like, I can't allow him to build a bunker. And now Happy knows that he cannot stick around with these Zerglings now coming out. 4 Zerglings chasing down that SCV. The Zerglings do move slightly faster, I believe 2.95 versus 2.87. So what does that mean? Every 10 frames, or every 10 seconds, they recover a distance of 2, which should mean that by the time the SCV is back, or somewhere around here, I think. Nope, it looks like it's going to be a little bit closer, but Hellions are going to be there to intercept, and there you go. 1 Zergling torched. More and more Zerglings are going to be forced to retreat, as the Hellions are a very strong counter to those Zerglings in the early portion of the game, especially without any roaches as support. One Zergling going to get toasted there. Oh, nope. What's happening? 1 Zergling going to get toasted. More Zerglings going to get toasted here. And these Zerglings are going to all get destroyed, but out comes the Roach now. And that Roach, with that 18 base damage, able to deal a lot of damage to those units as the Roaches shoo away those Hellions, but a new group of Hellions coming back in. Perhaps Happy is going to save the lower hit point Hellion and repair it. Hellions still making their way out. We are going to be doing a swap again. A 3rd command center being built inside the upper level here. A new barracks should be established by Happy, as well as we see what's going to be happening. Happy really liking to have an extra orbital command inside his base at all times, so he just needs to lift off to establish an expansion. Roaches are creating a nice line here, and now able to get off a nice shot. 1 damage, another Hellion getting taken out. 3 Hellions left of the original 6, but 3 is the magic number. 1 drone down, multiple drones getting torched there. Another drone getting torched there as the Roach is trying to catch up. Are they going to be able to do anything? Another round of Hellions. Or those Hellions still trying to come back in. Are they going to be able to deal any more damage? No. It looks like the Hellions should have just turned around and tried to fire at those drones there, as opposed to just running around in circles. Happy has to be careful. Now going to try to slip out, but I believe a Queen on the ramp is going to be too much, as the Roach may be able to get off a final shot. Is it going to be enough? The Queen getting in position, and there it is. Roof sitting on a 52-31 food advantage now. Triple command, double orbital commands. Double orbital commands. 1 command center being built. There's a triple, as Happy has yet to establish his natural expansion. We are going into siege tanks here. We'll see if the siege tank here will be able to cover this entire ramp, perhaps getting up another siege tank here and here as well to be able to cover the ramps, and then being able to defend on these 3 bases, as we now finally see an orbital command making its way to the low ground expansion here. Roaches looking to do a push out. The siege tank does attack significantly faster than a Roach, almost twice as fast. The siege tanks are in position and now going to start shelling away. 1 Roach doesn't make it out alive, as the SCVs now transfer to that low ground expansion. Some SCVs perhaps not going to be able to return in time. There you go. And now all mining at this natural expansion here. It is going to be 2 bases to now 3, as Roof already has his 3rd hatchery up and running, but Happy can just lift off and reestablish this here in just a matter of seconds. We'll see what will be happening. The siege tanks are in position protecting the natural expansion. It's going to be very difficult for units to even be able to make it up that ramp. Drones now making their way over and starting to mine at the 6 o'clock 3rd base. So far, the game has been pretty even. Happy, for some reason, doesn't like a reactor on that starport. Perhaps he doesn't like double training medevacs, liking more Marines in his group, knowing that more Marines are able to deal more damage while medevacs just keep the Marines alive. Important to keep those Marines alive, but sometimes you need more damage than healing. I'm not quite sure how fast heals 3 life per 1 energy, but I don't know quite the healing rate on a medevac. So I guess if I could try to do a calculation how fast or how long it takes to heal. I know a Marine with weapons upgrade does have a DPS somewhere in like the 10 to 11 range. So if a medevac doesn't have a 20 heal per second, then it's really not going to be altogether that worth it, as the Marines can deal more damage than the medevac can heal. 1 Zergling off over here, it will get cleaned up. There it goes. As we now see the units are on the move, the Overseer does spot this. A Changeling was killed somewhere. Don't quite see where it was. A reactor being built and another reactor being built here. So Happy looking to just build a reactor on the starport, as opposed to inheriting one that was built by a factory, doing things the hard way, as we now see siege tanks making their way across the field. Combat shield not yet completed, no weapons upgrade, just a couple of siege tanks and Marines to try to stop this. The Overlord does spot that this is gonna get destroyed here. Siege tank and Overseer are gonna get taken out, and now a siege tank over here on the high ground. The Roach is trying to destroy that, but what's gonna come out ahead? And the siege tank down to 16 hit points, in a very nice position now, as it does have sight up onto that high ground. Siege tanks are going to siege, and with that, if they're able to focus down the Banelings, that will be huge. The Banelings need to get destroyed. The Banelings detonating up against a siege tank. The Marines now trying to run back. Down goes that siege tank, but there's still a lot of Marines in this group. More Zerglings need to come over, as now a siege tank is going to come in to reinforce. Orbital command will be re-landing. Is it going to be enough? Is it going to be in time? Zerglings, siege tanks blasting apart the Roaches. Who's coming out ahead? More units still falling. The Marines, the Zerglings trying to finish this off. There's not that many Marines left, as now a nice pickup there, saving the siege tank and the Marine. New round of units being trained off back at home. You can still see that we are running on 3 barracks, training up 4 Marines at a time. And now in comes some Zerglings. The Zerglings, however, finding a group of units and don't want to deal with them, as we now see Happy taking, I guess, the canyon here, but this low ground area that leads to all 3 bases, a couple siege tanks, and this place will be very difficult to break, at least with these somewhat smaller armies. The armies somewhere sitting in the 40 food range. The Marines and those siege tanks able to soften up the attack and the blows well before they get within range. Harvester count 68 to 64. As Roof now establishes his 4th base, and we'll see what Roof is able to do with his 20 food advantage, or 30 food advantage, excuse me. Marines are upgraded 1-1. This is the first time I've seen Roof go Mutalist. Will those Mutalists be effective? Will they be able to take down multiple SCVs? Not very many missile turrets at all, as the siege tanks are in siege mode, battling up, and a Mutalist just simply flying into a pack of Marines. And the Marines dealing a devastating blow, and those Mutalists are not going to fall. Zerglings now going after the units there. The Marines protecting. Roach is going after more Marines, and there's the GG. Roof, even he has the economic advantage, but knowing that he just, once again, I gotta say, Roof did a premature GG. It really felt like Roof was still in this game. I'm taking a look at the Harvester count. That's 75 to 74. This attack force would have been able to deal a lot of damage. The Zerglings, perhaps. There are some Zerglings off over here. There's still a fair amount of larvae. He could have retrained up more units and stopped this aggression. I think Roof was just upset at this point. The nerves got a little bit of the better of him, and he was unable to stay alive. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.